Parshas Vayigash. Why the ruse? Why does Yosef go to great lengths to conceal his genuine identity? Or, as my grandson Menachem Mendel Prero in Muncie asked me last week, why did Yosef not immediately let Yaakov know that he was okay? And he frames Binyamin. And they go through this whole thing, and then finally he discloses himself. Why this whole, all of these machinations to first conceal his true identity and then ultimately to reveal his identity? So we know that there have been numerous interactions between Yosef and the brothers, and the most recent one follows extreme reluctance on the part of Yaakov to allow Binyamin to go down to Egypt and to be part of the group that whose purpose is to get food for the family. And then Yosef arranges that after they've concluded their business, now Yosef arranges and plants a silver goblet in Binyamin's bag, and then he's caught. And the brothers are genuinely freaked out. They can't handle it. They're shocked. And Yehuda stands up, and Vayigash, they love Yehuda. Yehuda tries to negotiate with Yosef. Why this whole ruse? So Ahron Soloveichik addresses this in his Sefer, The Warmth and the Light. It's actually not on Parshas Vayigash, but it's actually at the end. I believe it's either Miketz. I think it's in Miketz. Where he says that Yosef was extraordinarily sensitive psychologically. And he needed to address the psychological and perhaps spiritual underpinnings of the event, what had happened. So Ahron says that all of the brothers felt like black sheep. They felt like they were damaged goods because they had sold out their brother. Now, they had sold out their brother. They may have felt that they were justified, but they had sold out their brother, and they indicated throughout the narrative of these episodes, they indicated that they felt guilty for having done so and for not having retrieved him, first for having sold him, and then for not having retrieved him after he cried out. How do you repair that damage? Well, he could have said, guess what? I'm Yosef. And what would have happened then? Well, there would have been no repair to the relationship. Ahron quotes the Rambam in Holchos Tshuva in the second parak. Rambam in his code of Jewish law, in his Yad HaChazaka. So he quotes the second parak, the first halacha. He says where the Rambam is dealing with of Holchos Tshuva, and he's dealing with defining tshuva and defining complete teshuva, complete repentance. The Rambam says, Ezohi tshuva gemura. What is complete tshuva? He says, Zeh shebal yodo davar she'avar bo. A person experiences the opportunity to commit the same sin, to transgress once again. Ve'efshar biyodo lasoso, and it's possible for him to do it. Upiresh v'lo asam mipnei tshuva, and he desists and he doesn't commit the transgression because he has repented. Lo mi'ira v'lo mikishlon koach, not out of fear, presumably not out of fear of getting caught, or because he's too weak. Ketzad. Example. How? Harei sheba alisha ba'avera. Men had impermissible relations with a woman. And he finds himself alone with her again. And he still has the same attraction, feels the same attraction, and he has the same capabilities. Upiresh v'lo avar, but he desists and he does not sin. Zehu bal tshuva kamura. This is a complete bal tshuva, or somebody who has done complete tshuva. So for Yosef is trying to get to this stage of tshuva gemura, not for him, but for his brothers. So now what was the sin? So Ahron suggests that the sin was betraying his brother. That is, that they betrayed their brother being Yosef. And certainly they feel a tremendous sense of guilt for having done that. So Yehuda steps up as representative of the other brothers, and he says, we're not going to do this again. We're not going to sell out our brother again. And so they successfully recreated the conditions, to a certain extent, of their lives being more convenient if they abandon their brother, and they are not prepared to do that. So to a large extent, they've enacted or recreated the circumstances. Now there's another hint to what's going on here, and we can build on the concept that Ahron explained, and maybe take it to the next level. Where in the narrative does Yosef finally disclose his true identity? Well, if we look at the psukim, it says the final appeal of Yehuda to Yosef is Ki eich e'ele elavi v'hana'ar enenu iti pen ere bara asher yimtza savi. How will I go up to my father if the boy is not with me? Lest, meaning I hope I don't want to, see the evil that will come on my father. It looks like he's on to the next level, or onto a different issue, which is not no longer a question of treating Binyamin, but it's a question of his father. How is he going to see that his father is crushed again by the absence of a brother? And you might say that Yosef was actually addressing two things. Number one, the relationship of brother to brother, but perhaps even more importantly, he was addressing the rupture in the relationship between Yaakov and his sons, and how his sons not only did the brothers betray a brother, but they betrayed their father. And listen carefully, if you will, to the verse. This is now in Perek Mem Gimel, Mem Hey, Pasuk Aleph, 45:1. V'lo yachol Yosef lehisapek. This is after he says, this is after Yehuda says, how can I see what happened to my brother? The verse says, Yosef could not hold back l'chol anitzavim alav, before all those who were standing before him. Vayikra, and he called out, Hotziu kol ish me'alai. Get rid of everybody. Take everybody out here. V'lo amad ish ito b'svaday Yosef elachav. And no one else stood with him when Yosef made himself known to his brothers. He couldn't hold back. At what point couldn't he hold back? He couldn't hold back when Yehuda said, how could I see this happen to my father? This now completes the cycle. He has, to the extent humanly possible, recreated the circumstances of potential betrayal. The brothers could have betrayed Binyamin. They could have betrayed their father. Apparently, according to Ahron's principle, Yosef was actually restoring two things. Number one, the sense of loyalty between or among the brothers, and the sense of loyalty between the brothers and their father. And once he saw that, he had accomplished his goal. Why the ruse? The ruse was there so that he could recapitulate in some measure the circumstances under which the brothers had sinned. And now they could pass the test of tshuva gemura by remaining steadfastly loyal to their brother and to their father. Have a good Shabbos.